him to attend. Thou makest the seasons in order to rear all that thou hast made, the winter to cool them, and the heat that they may taste thee. Verse 19. He appointed the moon for seasons. The sun knows its going down. Now, what is the most common symbol when you think of justice? Most of the time that's a woman who is usually blindfolded with a scale. Now look at plate 3 from the Papyrus of Ani, which is once again in the British Museum. In the middle you have a scale. On the left of the scale, whoever is being judged, that's his heart inside of that vase. On the right you have the feather of Ma'at, which is the Neter, the goddess of truth, justice, reciprocity, and so on. So once again, a feminine principle. Okay, when you think of a jury, you think of a tribunal. There's 12 people who make up the jury. Now let's look on the top and see how many people we can see. Now first you have 2 people, then one has 3, one has 4, then you have another 2, that's 6, and 1 that's 7, 1 that's 8, 1 that's 9, 1 that's 10, 1 that's 11, 1 that's 12. You have 12 people on the top, okay, just above the scale of justice. This, some people might say it's just a coincidence once again, but I don't care. This is a fact, and you can just make up whatever you want of it. But just be reminded that this is about 3,000 years old. Okay, let's move on. Now what you are looking at is the Dendera zodiac, located in the Louvre Museum in France. It was originally in Kemet. It represents the stars, and because of the presentation format you might not be able to see it in details, but if you put Dendera zodiac on search engines you should see some better representations. It's the oldest zodiac known, the oldest circular zodiac known. This also is from the Dendera temple and is still over there in Kemet. I am not making any allegation. It looks like something. It's up to you to judge, and we don't know for sure. You know, we don't usually see the Meduneta next to it, or not clearly enough to be able to read it. It has caused a lot of talk, a lot of speculation, a lot of theories, but and there's something else as well. That's from the temple of in Abydos in Kemet. This has caused even more talk and speculations. Okay, different views, different angles. Alright. Some of you might have heard about a mention of Israel in an ancient Egyptian document. They are talking about the Ptah stele, erroneously called the Israel stele. It's in Egypt, in the Cairo Museum. Now, I'm going to show you the line, the part that they claim means Israel, because it's not. Okay, on the actual stele, you read it from right to left, but for clarity's sake, you're going to see it underneath from left to right. So what I've done, right, because it's a bit technical there, is for those who want to take it further and maybe learn the hieroglyphs, the Meduneta, I have put the meaning of each symbols, and underneath I have put their number according to the cardinal list. Okay, so then you basically have a breakdown of the meaning of that actual part. It's not the whole sentence, but that's the part that we are interested in now. Okay, some of those symbols you probably notice that there is no description, like no translation, like which letter it means, because it doesn't actually mean a letter. It's just to give a better definition. You know, it's an ideogram, that's what it is. Okay, but basically what it spells is Isri-ar or Isrir. Okay, and that's how it's spelled most of the time. Okay, and another thing that's important, the last symbols is a man and a woman, and underneath you have the 3 strokes for the plural. So that tells you that it's talking about people, not an actual place. You understand? Earlier, I don't know if you remember, but I showed you, for example, how to say for the word Kemet, for example, you have a certain symbol that means city or town or settlement, etc. And for country, as a matter of fact, it's a symbol that I have not shown, but it's like a mountain. Okay, so basically we have the man, the woman, and it means people. And you might remember that because it was closer when I showed you on the tomb of Ramesses the third, you know, and you could see the man and the woman. If you go back, you will see. So it's talking about people. So saying that it means Israel is wrong, definitely. Okay, so if anybody is trying to throw that at you, then you know how to get back at them. All right. That's very important because there's so many misconceptions. And the funny thing as well is that they are always trying to use, I mean, when it comes to archaeology, you know, and they try to have some legitimacy, they always have to go to the Egyptian documents. You understand? Anyway, let's move on. Now I think you would find this interesting. Daily Life of the Ancient Egyptians by Bob Breer, page 235. Egyptian woman gave birth sitting down, so gravity assisted the baby's exit, permitting less forceful contractions. Doctors probably did not assist at childbirth. That's what it probably looked like at the time. Then we are told how they will find out the gender of the child. On the same page it goes on to say, the woman urinated on 2 test patches of emmer and barley seeds for several days. If either grew, she was pregnant. If only the barley sprouted, she would have a boy. If only the emmer, it would be a girl. Okay, soon I will show some visuals, but before that I want you to see once again how they have copied some writings from our ancestors and it ended up in the Bible. What we're going to deal with is Amenemope, who lived between 1290 and 1190 BCE. That was during the 19th dynasty, and his writings are in the British Museum. It's called the Amenemope Papyrus number EA 10474, and it's dated around 1000 BCE. We're going to compare that with the Proverbs, and Solomon is the alleged author of the Proverbs. He lived around 950 BCE, so you can clearly see that Amenemope was around way before that. Okay. Now, Amenemope's instructions, chapter 1. Give your ears and hear what is said. Proverbs 22:17. Bow down thine ear and hear the words of the wise. Amenemope, chapter 1. Give your mind over to their interpretation. It is profitable to put them in your heart. Proverbs 22:17. And apply thine heart unto my knowledge. Amenemope, chapter 6. Do not displace the surveyor's marker on the boundaries of the arable land. Proverbs 23:10. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Amenemope, chapter 7. If riches come to you by theft, they will not spend the night with you. They have made themselves wings like geese, and they fly up to the sky. Proverbs 23:5. Whilst thou set thine eyes upon that which is not, for riches certainly make themselves wings, they fly away as an eagle toward heaven. Amenemope, chapter 9. Do not fraternize with the hot-tempered man, nor approach him to converse. Proverbs 22:24. Make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man thou shalt not go. Amenemope, chapter 10. God hates one who falsified words. His great abomination is duplicity. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. Amenemope, chapter 11. Do not covet the property of the dependent. Proverbs 22:22. Rob not the poor, because he is poor. Amenemope, chapter 13. Better it is to be praised as one loved by men, than wealth in the storehouse. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. Amenemope, chapter 17. Make not for yourself a measure of two capacities. Proverbs 20:23. Divers weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good.